Welcome to BNP Paribas, the bank for a changing world. A leading player serving economy and society, we are a European leader. With our global reach, particularly in the Americas and the Asia-Pacific region, we support our customers wherever they live and do business. Our diversified and integrated model allows all our business lines to work closely together with a single goal, serving our customers and society. We commit to our customers for the long term. We advise them and design financing, savings, and investment solutions that are both innovative and secured. Whether individuals, companies, or institutionals, we help all our customers finance their plans, protect their loved ones, prepare their future, and build up their savings while advising and supporting them in their development or energy transition. Our strategic plan, GTS 2025, has three broad ambitions: pursuing measured and sustainable growth. Backed by our diversified and integrated model and our European leadership in most of our business lines, we are committed to profitable, steady, and measured growth. Firstly, by investing and expanding in our most promising businesses, and secondly, by pursuing our acquisition strategy, targeting high-value added capabilities and cutting-edge technologies, placing technology at the heart of our solutions. We continue to invest and develop our capabilities and partnerships in technology to offer an optimized experience to our customers and our teams while enhancing our operating performance, and a rapid acceleration to financing the energy transition. We are stepping up our commitments to a sustainable economy and have moved up to the next level in financing the energy transition and turning the page on fossil fuels. We are continuing our transformation efforts, which in 2022 have already allowed us to finance mostly low-carbon energy projects. We support all our customers in their transition to a low-carbon economy and avail them our best capabilities, particularly the 200 specialists of our low-carbon transition group. And lastly, we are enhancing our steering and governance tools while training all our teams in sustainable finance. As present in numerous territories, we are committed to promoting equal opportunity and working towards a more inclusive society. We act to promote integration and diversity, in particular by increasing the number of women in our teams and management bodies. With our foundation, we work alongside our association partners to promote the integration of young people, help the most vulnerable persons, and offer our support to humanitarian emergencies such as in Ukraine or more recently in Turkey and Syria. We are 184,000 women and men worldwide, experts in our fields and fully committed each day alongside our customers and partners to designing and implementing innovative and useful solutions at the scale of a sustainable world.
Good morning, buenos días, and thank you for joining us at the 14th edition of the Spain Investors Day. A company belonging to Estudio de Comunicación. Along today and tomorrow, this event will gather Spain's main authorities, business people and companies, as well as close to 200 investors from very different nationalities. On behalf of our strategic partners, BNP Paribas and BNP Paribas Exane, our sponsors, Deloitte, Endesa, CaixaBank, AON, IAG, BME, and Prisa, and our collaborators, Linklaters, Equipo Económico, ICEX, ICO, Cofides, and Invest in Madrid, we want to welcome you to this new edition of the Spain Investors Day. The official opening ceremony will now begin. I give the floor to Cecilia Bonet, President of BNP Paribas Spain. Cecilia.
Mr. Minister of Industry and Tourism, Mr. Vice President of the ECB, Mr. Mayor, authorities, chairpersons and CEOs, dear friends, BNP Paribas is very honored to welcome you to this 14th edition of the Spain Investors Day. We are opening 2024 with very serious challenges, war conflicts in Europe and Middle East with dramatic human consequences and high uncertainty on their duration, reach, and potential impacts on our economies. Significant elections to come at the European Parliament, in the US or in Taiwan. For sure, we are used to elections everywhere, but these elections are especially relevant for the debates they open on subjects like support to the existing war conflicts, response to international migrations, or use of public proceeds and fiscal policy. Inflation, despite the improvements achieved thanks to strong action from central banks, we are not done yet. We should not expect a move on interest rates until we observe inflation is under control. The other aspect of the fight against inflation is the economic slowdown. We need to focus on relaunching the economy and, from a banking perspective, see how the financial system will fund and fuel growth again. In a broader scope, and in some way connected to the tensions mentioned, we faced a vast repositioning of globalization. It is an evolution, it will take time, but we see significant capital flows all over the world aiming at reformatting access to energy, supply chains, risk management, commercial and financial links between regions. This environment means added complexity and the need for the economies to adapt. Adapting, this is what Spain and its main economic actors have quite successfully performed. In this adverse context, the Spanish economy has shown a remarkable resilience. Spain remains one of the most dynamic economies of the Eurozone in 2023 with a 2.4% GDP growth, well above the 0.5% in the EU. While the last quarter has shown a slowdown in some growth components, Spain is still expected to continue outperforming the Euro growth in 2024. The Spanish economy has been supported by the rebound of the tourism sector, the Next Generation EU funds, a robust domestic demand, relative moderation of energy prices, and a record level of employment. Inflation, slightly more than 3% in 2023, is amongst the lowest in Europe. In a time where access to energy is a focus of attention, it's worth mentioning that Spain is pioneering the solar and wind industries. It is currently the second largest generator of renewable power in Europe, with an ambitious national plan aiming to source 74% of power from renewables by 2030 and 100% by 2050. Spanish companies show robustness and leadership. Spanish corporates are in good financial health, especially with the decreasing level of leverage below the EU average. And along with well-diversified geographical revenues, this has allowed them to preserve attractive margins and experience an overall good performance. With world leaders in infrastructure, health, or retail, Spain has also developed and consolidated a wide corporate fabric with outstanding technological and industrial capabilities in renewable energy. We benefit from a large, high-quality business ecosystem with vast proven experience in the development and management of renewable energy projects. In this sector, not only the well-known large caps, but also the mid and small cap companies are switching to a more value-added integrated model with high-quality asset portfolios worldwide. As in previous years, the Spain Investors Day will be an opportunity for 40 listed companies to present their strategic goals to close to 100 institutional investors from all over Europe and the US. We have arranged 500 one-to-one meetings, therefore consolidating the Spain Investors Day as the main equity forum in Spain. This is also another testimony of BNP Paribas' commitment with the Spanish economy. During these 2 coming days, you will be able to attend several roundtables on subjects like the biotechnology sector, the ecosystem of artificial intelligence, the green transition, or the insights on the Spanish economy, among others. Again, we are very pleased to welcome you. I hope you will enjoy the gathering, and thank you again for being with us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cecilia. It is now the turn for the Madrid Mayor, José Luis Martínez-Almeida.
Minister of Industria and Tourism, querido Jordi, vicepresidente of European Central Bank, querido Luís, president of BNP Paribas, president of Estudio de Comunicación, councillors, sponsors, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to participate again in this distinguished event, which brings together our esteemed business sector to attract investment to both Spain and Madrid. With this 14th edition, Spain Investor Day continues to strengthen its position as the most important economic and financial event in our country. As I want to thank the organizers for choosing once again the capital to host and celebrate this great forum. Additionally, I extend a warm welcome to each participant who joins us in our shared vision. Your presence in this forum and in this city expresses better than anything else the inevitable situation that both this initiative and Madrid currently enjoy. During a period defined by these hard trials, Madrid has not merely endured, it has thrived. Having confronted a global pandemic and the challenges of Filomena, our city stood unwavering. Today, Madrid emerged more prosperous and ambitious. We have become a beacon for investment, a magnet for progress. Together, we have crafted a stronger capital. And we want to continue to do so in partnership with the private sector, because we are sure that if we work together, there will be no challenge we cannot overcome. Over the years, Madrid has built a robust alliance with all productive sectors, an alliance that has consistently resulted in benefits for its citizens. The capital of Spain owes a great deal to both national and international companies that, with their firm commitment to our city, have transformed us into the economic and financial powerhouse of our country. Today, Madrid is focusing not only on economic growth and vitality, but also on ensuring the quality of life and well-being of its people through all our policies. We achieve this with low taxes to attract talent, offering the highest quality in public services, and always with unwavering loyalty to our country. None of these major companies would have chosen to come and invest in Madrid if it were not, above all, for the fact that his city is a bastion of legal, institutional, and social certainties. Madrid is the capital of a great nation. We are its main economic driver and one of the most powerful growth levers currently available to Spain and, by extension, Europe. We are the leading economic power in Spain and today rank among the top 5 most attractive European cities for investment and living. Over 60% of foreign investment coming into Spain flows into Madrid. This achievement is possible thanks to the sustained will of people of Madrid over the decades, a will that had led us as a society to embark on all the major socio-economic challenges and transformation that have arisen over the years. Today, Madrid is a capital generating wealth and prosperity for all who chose to come and live and work here, because we are a city unafraid of the future, and therefore at the forefront in areas crucial to economic development, such as sustainability. We breathe the best air in Madrid history right now. That does not forget its past, and therefore we maintain the quality of life we have always been proud of, and that works consistently in the present to lay the foundations for the prosperity and the development of the coming decades. We are the city to be in, the city to come to if you have an idea, a project, or an aspiration. Madrid is today the city where everything is possible. We are currently experiencing the most prosperous period in our recent history, and we know that the real challenge is not just to get there, but to maintain it. That's why we are promoting numerous measures to encourage business activity. We have approved new tax cuts, which next year will allow Madrid residents to have saved 800 million euros since 2020. We have facilitated urban development projects that will enable the construction of more than 200,000 homes. We have transformed the tourism model of Madrid, and today we are the first urban destination in Spain and the third in the world. And we will continue to invest resources and efforts to consolidate ourselves as the great digital hub of Southern Europe. As you are all undoubtedly aware, the establishment of major corporations and substantial projects requires years of dedication, and a mere missteps can lead to their weakening or even their collapse. I can assure you with utmost certainty that such a fate will not befall Madrid. Madrid will continue to be that fertile ground where ideas, determination, talent, or courage continue to yield benefits for all those who come to invest, work, or live among us. Madrid is not only evolving, it's leading the world economic scene. It's clear that our commitment goes beyond mere words. We are actively shaping a future where innovation, stability, and opportunity thrive. As a trusted ally, we are dedicated to modernization and fostering a business environment that is both welcoming and economically advantageous. And we stand as a vital bridge between Europe and America, showing an atmosphere that it's not only open and free, but also rich in hospitality and warmth. During this Spain Investor Day, I am confident you will encounter compelling projects and persuasive reasons to invest, all while being enveloped in the unique charm and welcoming heart of our city. I extend my deepest gratitude for your presence and participation, and I hope you enjoy Madrid. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor. We now welcome the Vice President of the European Central Bank, Luís de Guindos.
Buenos días, señor ministro, señor alcaldes. Thank you very much for inviting me here today. It's a pleasure to be in this event that I attended several times under a different condition. So I'm going to refer, the Mayor of Madrid referred to Madrid, that's normal. I will focus my comments on the euro area. In my remarks today, I will provide an overview of the latest economic developments and the rationale behind the monetary policy decisions that we took in December. I will then discuss the outlook for the euro area economy for the coming months. As you know, 2023 ended with an inflation rate of just below 3% in December, which was very good news. The uptick from November was widely expected, reflecting base effects and the withdrawal of energy support measures. Euro area inflation had been above 10% in October 22 and at 8.6% at the start of 2023. The decline in 2023 affected all the main components of headline inflation, confirming a broad-based disinflationary process that gained momentum in the second half of the year. Food inflation has declined substantially from its peak of over 15% in March 2023, but remained high at just above 6% in December. Energy inflation remained deep in negative territory in December, recording the 8th consecutive decline since May 2023. Another important aspect is that core inflation entered a clear downward trajectory, continuing to decline to 3.4% in December. Services prices have been slower to recede, but they fell sharply in November and remained stable in December. Taken together, these trends reflect the indirect effect of falling energy prices, the easing of supply bottlenecks, and the increasing pass-through of our monetary policy tightening to demand. However, high wage pressures, the outcome of upcoming wage negotiations, and intensifying geopolitical tensions add on uncertainty around the future path of inflation. The rapid pace of disinflation that we observed in 2023 is likely to slow down in 2024, and the pause temporarily at the beginning of the year, as was the case in December 2023. Positive energy base effects will kick in, and energy-related compensatory measures are set to expire, leading to a transitory pickup in inflation, similar to what has happened with the Spanish headline inflation in recent months. Inflation in Spain peaked in July 2022, reaching 10.7%, and disinflation set in earlier than in other European countries, with the rate coming down to 1.6% in June 2023. Since then, the large drop in energy prices has fallen out of the calculation, and inflation increased by an average of 3% between July and December. By contrast, and turning to growth developments are more disappointing. Economic activity in the euro area slowed slightly in the third quarter of 2023. Soft indicators point to an economic contraction in the fourth quarter too, confirming the possibility of a technical recession in the second half of 2023, and weak prospects for the near term. The slowdown in activity appears to be broad-based, with construction and manufacturing being particularly affected. Services are also set to soften in the coming months as a result of weaker activity in the rest of the economy. The labour market continues to be particularly resilient to the current slowdown. The euro area unemployment rate stood at 6.4% in November, broadly unchanged from October and close to its historical low. However, we are seeing the first signs of a correction taking place in the labour market. The latest data on total hours worked show a slight decline in the third quarter, the first since the end of 2020. This is mainly driven by the reduction in the average hours worked, offsetting the increase from the rise in employment. The continuous decline in job vacancy rates, which marginally decreased again in the third quarter, suggests that the ongoing labour market adjustment may also weigh on the number of jobs. With regard to the financial and monetary conditions, our past interest rate increases continue to be transmitted strongly to financing conditions, with lending rates for business loans in November at over 5% and mortgage rates increasing to 4%. The tight financing conditions are propagating through the economy, dampening demand and helping to push down inflation. Before taking its December decisions, the Governing Council closely considered their implications in terms of fragmentation risk and financial stability. Government bond markets are stable. Sovereign yield spreads have been resilient to the normalization of the Eurosystem's balance sheet, and investors have been able to absorb the extra securities released by the reduction in the asset purchase programs. Euro area banks have proven resilient, boasting comfortable levels of capital and strong profitability, which make them well equipped to withstand adverse shocks. Despite these strong fundamentals, bank valuations remain compressed, pointing to concerns about the long-term sustainability of bank earnings amid weak growth prospects, increased downside risks for deteriorating asset quality, lower lending volumes, and higher funding costs. Direct and indirect links between banks and the lightly regulated non-bank financial sector also pose risks to the financial system as a whole and highlight the need to boost non-bank resilience going forward. The overall outlook thus calls for vigilance, and macroprudential policy remains for the first line of defense against the build-up of financial vulnerabilities. At its December meeting, the Governing Council decided to keep the three key ECB interest rates unchanged. This decision was based on the overall assessment of the economic and inflation outlook, as well as the effects of our monetary policy. We believe that the current level of interest rates, maintained for a sufficiently long duration, will make a substantial contribution to the timely return of inflation to our target. At the last meeting, we also decided to advance the normalization of our balance sheet, We intend to continue to reinvest in full the principal payments from maturing securities purchased under our pandemic emergency program during the first half of 2024. Over the second half of 2024, the PEP portfolio will decline by 7.5 billion euro per month on average. We discontinued the reinvestment of redemptions of our main program in July 2023, and we expect to discontinue the reinvestments under the PEP from 2025. Nevertheless, the key ECB interest rates are our primary tool for setting the monetary policy stance. Our future decisions will continue to follow a data-dependent approach to determining the appropriate level and duration of restriction. Let me conclude. The events of the last 2 years have significantly shaped economic developments in the euro area, pushing up inflation to levels not seen since the introduction of the euro. In response, we started a gradual reduction in our asset portfolio, and we increased our policy rates by a total of 450 basis points. Our strong reaction was key to prevent the anchoring of expectations and to curb inflation. In terms of economic activity, the slowdown has so far been contained and gradual. However, the incoming data indicate that the future remains uncertain, and the prospects tilted to the downside. The inflationary shock that we were confronted with following the energy crisis has been particularly challenging. It occurred in an already difficult environment, with the world economic recovery from the pandemic and global supply chains still disrupted. Furthermore, supply-side shocks are particularly difficult to manage using monetary policy instruments. In this context, sustainable and investment-oriented fiscal policies aimed at promoting the energy transition, strengthening the resilience of supply chains, and increasing the euro area productivity are supportive of our price stability goal. Structural reforms and investments to enhance the euro area supplies capacity can help reduce price pressures in the medium term. In this regard, we very much welcome the agreement on the EU's fiscal framework reached a few weeks ago. It is a powerful signal to markets as it reduces uncertainty about fiscal rules in the Union. The reform framework will help us strike a balance between sustainable public finances and sufficient debt reduction on the one hand, and room for reforms and investments on the other, while supporting countercyclicality of fiscal policies. Achieving this balance turned out to be less straightforward than we might have hoped. It is now crucial that the new fiscal framework is implemented properly and without delay. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Luis. We now welcome the Minister for the Industry and Tourism, Jordi Hereu.
Dear Mayor of Madrid, as a Minister of Industry and Tourism, I spent many days working here in your wonderful city. And I was mayor of Barcelona a long time ago. It's a pleasure to work and to live in your city. Vice President of the European Central Bank, apreciado Luís, authorities and business representatives, a very good morning to you all. Buenos días a todos. First and foremost, I would like to express my gratitude to the organizers of the Spain Investors' Day, its president, Benito Berceruelo, and Cecilia Bonet, the president of BNP Paribas Spain, for the opportunity to participate in this event for the first time as Minister of Industry and Tourism. The Spain Investors' Days is a great chance to put public and private minds together in one place. In this occasion, I would like to offer you a glimpse of what has been achieved by our economy and the objectives that lie ahead. I'm convinced that Spain is a great opportunity. Spain is once again demonstrating economic strength and financial security. Thanks to robust growth, a highly competitive external sector, an active labor market, It continues to position itself as one of the most dynamic and attractive economies for foreign investment. It is the leading economy in the Eurozone, set to grow the most in the next 3 years, specifically 2.4% by the latest estimates. Spain is undeniably one of the main Europe's growth engine. In 2023, we have faced challenges stemming from the effects of the war in Ukraine and the widespread increase in global prices. However, it has also been a year of opportunities, a year of economic resilience, and a year of leadership involving the President of the Council of the European Union, among other achievements. Economically, the results have been remarkable. First of all, Spanish growth has been the highest among the 5 largest economies of the European Union, and also grown above the total of the OECD. Secondly, regarding employment, dynamism persists. In the third quarter of this year, employment reached record levels of more than 21 million people employed, a proof of stability and job creation in the private sector. In terms of foreign trade, figures demonstrate that Spain is a competitive and highly open economy. Spanish goods exports have reached a new historical height, surpassing the 319 billion euros, implying a 20% rise versus pre-pandemic levels. Spanish companies have consolidated the model of a highly internationalized economy. Foreign investment amounted to more than 21 billion only in the first 9 months of 2023. This figure implies 7% growth compared to the average for the 2018-2022 period. Our country acts as a hub for foreign investors looking to position themselves towards Europe, Latin America, and Africa, given historical ties and a privileged geostrategic position. Speaking about impressive results, 2 sectors deserve a special mention: industry and tourism. The Spanish industrial sector is undergoing a 180-degree change, and this transformation will persist. In this reshaping context, several positive developments have occurred. 2 examples. More than 1,000 startups applied for an ESA certification, granting tax benefits and other advantages to qualified companies. And the second example, automobile manufacturing production reaches over 2.5 million units. This represents an increase of around 30% compared to 2022. I would like to emphasize that the government elevated this sector's importance by establishing the Secretary of State of Industry. This move underscores the weight that this government places on the industry and its future. As for the tourism sector, it also experienced intensive recovery in 2023. The passengers arriving from international airports in Spain overreached the pre-pandemic figure of 84 million. I repeat, 84 million people visited last year in Spain. Furthermore, total tourist expenditure was in the area of 107 billion euros in 2023. This is a staggering 17% more than in 2019. These positive indicators confirm the good health of our economy and its productive capacity. For 2024, the forecast is that the Spanish economy will continue to grow above the Eurozone average, continuing to attract both national and foreign investment. The Spanish government is firmly committed to continuing on this path of growth, consolidating the modernization and relevant structural changes of the Spanish economy. The process of structural transformation has been and is possible thanks to Recovery, Transformation and Resilience Plan funded by the European financing instruments Next Generation and the so-called PERTES in Spanish. I dream every day and every night in PERTES. In 2023, Spain has maintained a strong pace of calls and tenders for European funds. All levels of public administration have already allocated 90% of the more than 37 billion euros received. These funds are impacting the economy. They are boosting investment. They are creating quality jobs. They are aiding in technological and digital modernization. They are facilitating the transition to a low-carbon, environmentally friendly economy committed to combating climate change. From the Spanish government, we are working to achieve a greener, more cohesive, and more digital Spain, at the forefront of technological advancements and ready to respond to new challenges. As you all know, the Recovery, Transformation, and Resilience Plan involves close coordination between the public and private sectors. These instruments allow public-private interaction to drive major transformation initiatives in key areas for the future of our economy. We already have 12 strategic projects in priority areas, among others. Development of electric and connected vehicles, renewable energies, renewable hydrogen and storage, industrial decarbonization, the agri-food sector, microchips, the naval industry, cutting-edge health. The arrival of the PERTES funds has therefore brought about a radical change in the magnitude and impacts of the state's industrial policies. To example, the budget of the ministry I lead has multiplied by 3.3 in 5 years. This is an active industrial policy. During the same periods, funds allocated to industrial policies have grown over 5 billion, representing an increase of 336%. This year, we will keep supporting the electrical vehicle industry with the PERTE-BEC plan. Together with the leading ministry, last December, we published the microchips PERTE call for 125 million euros, and I can announce that in 2024, we will add 200 million euros extras to this plan. In line with the government's strategy to work towards a greener industry, we have recently launched the Decarbonizing PERTE Line 1, funded with 1 billion, 500 million in grants and 500 million in loans. Together with the remaining 3 lines of the same PERTE, it will account for a total public investment above 3 billion. This significant mobilization of resources through the Recovery, Transformation and Resilience Plan positions Spain as a global investment destination. As you can imagine, the PERTES go alongside an intense regulatory agenda. The Spanish government remains committed to ensuring a strong, stable and predictable business environment. We have already initiated an ambitious program of structural reforms spanning several areas such as public administration, education, science, business climate, and the proper functioning of the markets. We are also committed to facilitating investments, in particular strategic investments. For this, we will work on passing the Industrial Act, which will designate creating projects as strategic, create a single window which will reduce bureaucracy and accelerate the implementation of these projects, many of them industrial ones. In addition to this, significant actions have already been taken through the 2030 strategic frame for small and medium enterprises, specifically the Create and Grow Act and the Startup Act, pioneering in the European Union. These profound reforms make our country a more than a favorable habitat for the creation of new innovative companies. The potential for growth comes accompanied by beneficial fiscal and tax conditions for the attraction, retention of talent. The goal here is twofold. On the one hand, to foster business and new company creation with a hassle-free services and a robust support ecosystem for entrepreneurs to seize opportunity in emerging sectors. On the other hand, the goal is to boost innovation and digitalization as fundamental drivers for the growth and maturation of companies, especially small and medium-sized enterprises, which are essential elements of the business structure. With all that was just mentioned, as you can see, Spain has a unique opportunity to transform itself and attract new industrial investment. But it doesn't stop there. Spain has a series of substantial additional advantages for investment. Firstly, we have the cheapest renewable energy in Europe. Spain not only has sun and wind, but also another strategic element of the highest order. We have land. This allows maximizing the impact of renewables on the territory and its productivity, limiting opportunity costs. Competitively priced renewable energy is a fundamental attraction for new investments as it reduces operating costs. Moreover, it is the source of a new industry itself, derived from the use of a green hydrogen. For the first time in history, energy is a competitive advantage for the development of a future industry in Spain. The Spanish government is committed to shaping an incredibly attractive industrialization plan for foreign investment by 2030, seizing the opportunities of the environment and the strengths of our country. We invite all of you to continue being part of this project. I'm convinced that we have a good opportunity in the future, and we want to construct this opportunity with you. I can assure you that you will have in me and the ministry I lead a faithful ally. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you all for attending the official opening ceremony of the Spain Investors Day. At 9:45 in this same room, the Roundtable Strategy and Management of ESG Factors in Times of Transformation, organized in collaboration with Fundación Ceres, will take place. You're all welcome to attend it and listen to the participants, who are Javier Hernani, CEO of BME, José Bogas, CEO of Endesa, José Carlos García de Quevedo, President for the Instituto de Crédito Oficial, and Josep Aliu, President for the Banco Sabadell. This roundtable will be moderated by Fernando Ruiz, Chairman for the Fundación Ceres. Thank you very much.